Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. At this time, could everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, is there any public comment? Seeing none, can I get a verification of the posting of the agenda, please?
Pam Moore for the record. The agenda was posted on May 9th between the hours of 1 and 5 at all of the locations listed on the agenda in accordance with statutes.
Thank you, Pam. This is going to be a revised agenda, with the revision being we're going to swap 14 and 15. With that, can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve the agenda as revised.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Consideration and possible action, approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 17th, 2024.
I move to approve the meeting minutes of the meeting held on April 17th, 2024.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Moving to appointments, 7A, presentation of the 2024 Jim Reagan Memorial Scholarship for the following individuals. We'll turn it over to Jim Barbie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you guys will go ahead and head down there, we'll announce the scholarship recipients and their amounts. We'd ask the recipients, we'll get individual pictures with each one of you with the commissioners receiving your scholarship, and then we'll have you step up to the front of the dais, kind of in front of where the commissioners stand, and hang out, because we'll have one full picture of all the scholarship recipients. So with our, with our first scholarship recipient at $2,500, Emily Bird. Come on and step up this way. Got to get the goodie bag. Can't have too many water bottles. Our second $2,500 recipient is Haley Guerrero. Congratulations. Our third $2,500 scholarship recipient is Casey Latin. Is she here? Now we move into our $1,500 scholarship recipients. Our first recipient is Levi Johnson. Our second $1,500 scholarship recipient is Weena Liu. Congratulations. With a $1,000 scholarship, next up is Owen McIntosh. Our second $1,000 scholarship recipient is Brian Mendoza. And as we move into our $500 scholarship recipients, our first recipient is Demi, help me with this one, Tekelitis. Well, if you see her, tell her I said it right. And our last $500 scholarship and our last recipient is Macy Cooper. So now they'll get you guys all grouped up there together for one big picture. Tall in the back, short in the front. And we'll have commissioners flanking you. Congratulations to all our scholarship recipients and best of luck to you. And as always, the commission wants to thank Pam Moore for her time and effort in managing that whole process along with the golf tournament, which raises money for it. Appreciate the commitment, Pam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Moving on to appointment 7B, public hearing. Consideration and possible action, adoption of Bill 2024-C, Ordinance 114, an ordinance amending Title VI of the Churchill County Code to authorize the sheriff to release dogs at large to their owners and other matters related thereto. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Sheriff's Office has requested an amendment to the Churchill County Code related to dogs at large. Presently, the code requires the sheriff or his deputies to transport a captured dog to the Fallon Animal Shelter and held there. This ordinance would give discretion to the sheriff or his deputies to release that dog to an owner if they can be identified.
Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Any questions or comments from board or staff? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Bill 2024-C, Ordinance 114 as submitted.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Appointment 7C, consideration and possible action, approval of child support hearing master budget for fiscal year 2024 and 2026 in the amount of $14,092.34 for each year. Tiffany, are you taking this? Yep, you're good to go.
Tiffany Josephs from the 10th Judicial District Court, asking you to approve the proposed budgets for 25-26.
Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Any comments or questions from board or staff? If not, I'll take a motion.
I move to approve the budget for child support hearing master services in the amount of $14,092.34 for each of the fiscal years 2025 and 2026.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. 7D, consideration and possible action, declaration of certain uncollected property tax in the aggregate amount of $6,095.24 as uncollectible and striking those taxes from the tax roll.
Mr. Chair and members of the board, Jeff Weed from the Churchill County District Attorney's Office. Here with me is Denise Montink Felton, the Churchill County Assessor. The information is contained in the packet here. We come every year with a list of taxes that have been deemed uncollectible. I've met with Ms. Montink Felton in her office, and we appreciate their consistent and competent effort to track these things down to try to collect the taxes that are due. We appreciate the hard work they do, and so there is the list before the board that was contained in the packet. If there's any questions about a particular tax or question about the notes contained therein, I think that the assessor's office can answer that. But if these are deemed uncollectible, the county commissioners are required to strike those taxes that cannot be collected, and so that's what we're here requesting today.
Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Any questions or comments from board or staff? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to strike the uncollected taxes from the tax roll as set forth by the 2024 uncollectible delinquent amounts spreadsheet in an aggregate amount of $6,095.24.
Second it.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Denise. Moving to 7E, consideration and possible action, approval of the interlocal agreement between Churchill County and Central Nevada Health District regarding supportive and health and administrative services from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2026 in the amount of $81,698 for the period of July 1st to June 30th, 2025, in the amount of $103,838 for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Jeff?
Thank you. Again, Jeff Weed from the Churchill County District Attorney's Office. Darren Winkleman, the administrator for the Health District, wish he could be here, but he's out working in another county at this time. And so we excuse him from today's meeting. But as this board is aware, we're currently operating under an agreement with the Central Nevada Health District, wherein the county is providing a number of services, including the employees that provide service for the district, as well as legal, human resources, clerk services, those kind of things. And so it's come time to renew that agreement. We did it for this year and a half, because we knew there would be things that we didn't know a year and a half ago. And so this one sets this agreement out for another 2 years. The hope and desire and plan is that eventually the Health District will stand on its own, as this board's aware. And so this is kind of an ongoing agreement that's here until it's not needed anymore. And so, again, there's the two different amounts for the 2 different years as we're going forward. Within the packet is how it's calculated. Essentially, 25% of each employee assigned to work there for the district provide those services is calculated to the total sum within this agreement. And so I'm happy to answer any questions, but we're asking for this to be approved. It went before the Health District on May 9th and was approved there.
Thank you, Jeff. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any questions or comments from board or staff? If not, a motion, please.
I move to approve the interlocal agreement between Churchill County and the Central Nevada Health District regarding supportive and health and administrative services from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2026 in the amount of $81,698 for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, and in the amount of $103,838 for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
7F, consideration and possible action, adoption of Resolution 9-2024, declaring the sale of property located at 405 South Harmon Road, Fallon, Nevada, APN 007-932-25, for economic development purposes to be in the best interest of the public, and approval of the real estate purchase agreement to sell the property in the amount of $60,000. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll start off by making a correction. I've been informed that APN 007-932-25 has been retired. It was aggregated as a reversion to acreage and is now -35 at the end. And it was a combining of the 4 parcels that make up this entire 30 acres into one number. Essentially, the purpose of this resolution, as well as this agreement, is to sell property currently held by the county along South Harmon Road. It's near Harmon Junction, adjoining the commercial property, to Hat Creek Construction, or their holding company, in this case TLT Enterprises, and they are intending to construct a construction operations facility there. Could be an equipment lot, hopefully an office and things of that nature in the future. This would require, at the time that they do proceed with construction, rezoning of the property to C2, which it adjoins. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Is there any questions or comments for Joe? Is there any public comment? If not, could I get a motion with the revision of the APN number?
What is the APN?
007-932-35 instead of -25.
Well, I make a motion to adopt Resolution 9-2024, declaring the sale of property located at 405 South Harmon Road for economic development and to be in the best interest of the public, approving the real estate purchase agreement as presented, and authorizing the county manager to execute all required documents to finalize the sale.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Did anyone want to pull any of the letters received? If not, we'll move to new business, 9A, consideration of possible action, performance evaluation of the county manager, Jim R. Barbie. I think you're taking this one, Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Chris Spross, representing the Churchill County Human Resources Department. So Title III of the Churchill County Code stipulates that all employees will be evaluated at least once per year by their supervisors. The county manager, who serves at the pleasure of the Board of County Commissioners, therefore is evaluated by this board. NRS 241.031 requires that any discussion regarding the professional competence of a chief executive or administrative officer shall be held in open session. Therefore, the performance evaluation of Mr. Barbie must be conducted in an open session. So several weeks ago, I sent out a blank evaluation form to each of you, which I received back from all three. With that information, I compiled two consolidated reports. The first report took all of the information that you provided, all the comments, all the scores, and that report, that performance evaluation, was reviewed with Mr. Barbie last Wednesday, May 8th. The second evaluation report is for this board, for this open meeting, and it does not include any of the comments, and it basically takes the average score that Mr. Barbie received on each one of the criteria. And what I mean by that is each rating receives a numerical score. So excellent would be a 5, good a 4, so on and so forth, down to unsatisfactory, which is a 1. And then based on that information, based on what you scored, that average was calculated. So if two people gave Mr. Barbie an excellent, which would be 2 5-pointers, and one gave them a let's say a fair, that would be a total of 12 points divided by 3 county managers. That would be an average score of 4. So that's what was represented in the report that was given to the board. You all have a copy of it. We can spend a few minutes going through each criteria if you like. If not, all the information is in front of you. I will state Mr. Barbie is ineligible for a step increase. He's currently at the top step 13 of the grade for the county manager. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions or further any discussions on the report itself.
Is there any questions or comments for Chris? Is there any public comment? Seeing none, a motion, please.
I move to approve the performance evaluation for the county manager. There is no step increase, as Mr. Barbie is currently at the top step of grade 96.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Moving on to new business, 9B, consideration of possible action, update on the attrition and hiring delay policy. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The hiring delay policy and attrition policy is a policy that's been in place for a great number of years, since 2013. It's been renewed several times and eventually just became adopted as a permanent policy. Some of the issues with the policy needed to be addressed to make it a little more clear for departments as well as the Position Review Board about the desires of the Board of County Commissioners when positions are reviewed. This update provided a couple of changes to make that clear. Specifically, the County Commission is enabled to set a target amount in the budget that the Position Review Board would be striving to meet through gapped positions. And therefore, if the County Commission wanted to either save a lot on salaries, we could gap further, or save less, we could gap less. Second, the Position Review Board was going to be able to now set a definite start date. The previous way the policy was written, once it was approved, then a department would be allowed to go out and recruit. This would be problematic for positions that were difficult to fill because you would have a three-month delay plus the time to actually recruit. Finally, we amended it so that the board would be empowered to delay positions for longer than 90 days. The current policy states that it's intended to be 90 days with potentially more than that. This just makes it clear what is expected of the board.
Is there any questions or comments for Joe? Is there any public comment? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the updated attrition and hiring delay policy.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. New business 9C, consideration of possible action, approval of a professional service agreement with Jeff Cruz for county surveyor services. Joe?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. We learned that our county surveyor's contract had elapsed last year. This is an updated contract to allow the county surveyor to continue to provide the same services at the same price to the county. It has been amended to allow it to be an automatically renewing contract under our same standard terms and conditions. And that's it.
Any questions or comments for Joe? Is there any public comment? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
I move to approve the professional service agreement with Jeff Cruz for county surveyor services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Did anyone want to pull anything off the consent agenda? If not, I'll need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Does anyone have anything they want to consider for a future agenda item? If not, we'll move to commissioner and management staff reports. Start with you, Justin.
Yesterday, I attended the Lahontan Conservation District meeting. That's all I got.
Yesterday, I had a fire board meeting, and then today I had an RTC meeting, and I also had, it was a really good event, the street dance for the fire department. Great event. We had the push-in ceremony for one engine. They're probably not going to do another push-in for the other one, just kind of included on the one. And great event, great turnout. A lot of the public that was there, so good to see that. What about you, Buzz?
I attended the Youth Center Board of Directors meeting last Monday, and it was an interesting meeting.
Sherry?
Excuse me. We published the tax rate last Friday per NRS requirements, and we received the Department of Taxation's approval of the tentative budget today. Thank you.
Joe?
Nothing, thank you.
Jim? Pam?
Linda couldn't be here because they're busy working on the election, but the thing that I would just mention is early voting starts on May 25th, so, and it'll run for 2 weeks before the election.
Thank you for that, Pam. Claims and payroll are going around. At this time, is there any final public comment? Seeing none, we stand adjourned.